South Americans are culturally influenced by their indigenous peoples, the historic connection with the Iberian Peninsula and Africa, and waves of immigrants from around the globe. South American nations have a rich variety of music. Some of the most famous genres include vallenato and cumbia from Colombia, pasillo from Colombia and Ecuador, samba, bossa nova and música sertaneja from Brazil, joropo from Venezuela and tango from Argentina and Uruguay. Also well known as the non-commercial folk genre Nueva Canción movement, which was founded in Argentina and Chile and quickly spread to the rest of the Latin America. People on the Peruvian coast created the fine guitar and cajon duos or trios in the most mestizo of South American rhythms such as the marinera, the tendero, the 19th century popular Creole valse or Peruvian valse, the soulful Arequipan Yaraví, and the early 20th century Paraguayan guarania. In the late 20th century, Spanish rock emerged by young hipsters influenced by British pop and American rock. Brazil has a Portuguese-language pop rock industry as well as a great variety of other music genres. In the central and western regions of Bolivia, Andean and folklore music like diablada, capoeirales and guarnada are the most representative of the country, which were originated by European, Aymara and Quechua influences. Argentina has a vast territory and a variety of climates and microclimates ranging from tundra and polar in the south to the tropical climate in the north, through a vast expanse of temperate climate. Natural wonders include the Aconcagua, the highest mountain in the world outside the Himalayas, the widest river and estuary of the planet, the Iguazu Falls, the humid Pampas, and the Argentine Sea. Visitors enjoy the culture, customs, and Argentine cuisine. The Argentine territory stretches from the highest peaks of the Andes in the west to Colitas del Norte rivers and extensive beaches and cliffs of Argentine Sea in the east. From the tropical rainforest of the Yungas north to the valleys, glaciers, lakes, and cold forests of Andean Patagonia in the south, and to Argentine Antarctica, through the warm landscapes of tropical climates contrasting in a huge gradient microclimates. The polar climates are extensive and very fertile grasslands with the world's most flatter plains contrasting with the highest mountains outside Asia, contrasted with also vast desert areas plethoric of geoforms for the annual running extensive and extreme Dakar rally race. The high mountain ranges, the pleasant Pampinas Mountains and the temperate Atlantic beaches and its extensive coastlines. The huge distances require in most cases air travel. The Misiones rainforest, Argentine Yungas, and areas of the Andean Patagonia are scientifically considered as biodiversity hotspots, large areas worldwide. The great biodiversity and a large number of different landscapes and climates make Argentina a diverse country. Brazil. Tourism in Brazil is a growing sector and key to the economy of several regions of the country. The country had 6.36 million visitors in 2015, ranking in terms of the international tourist arrivals as the main destination in South America and second in Latin America after Mexico. Revenues from international tourists reached $6 billion in 2010. Showing a recovery from the 2008-2009 economic crisis. Historical records of 5.4 million visitors and $6.8 billion in receipts were reached in 2011. In the list of world tourist destinations, in 2018, Brazil was the 48th most visited country, with 6.6 million tourists. Natural areas are its most popular tourism product, a combination of ecotourism with leisure and recreation, mainly sun and beach, and adventure travel, as well as cultural tourism. Among the most popular destinations are the Amazon rainforest, beaches and dunes in the northeast region, the Pantanal in the center-west region, beaches at Rio de Janeiro and Santa Catarina, cultural tourism in Minas Gerais and business trips to Sao Paulo. Colombia, officially the Republic of Colombia, is a country in South America with an insular region in North America. It is bordered by the Caribbean Sea to the north, Venezuela to the east, Brazil to the southeast, Ecuador and Peru to the south, the Pacific Ocean to the west and Panama to the northwest. Colombia comprises 32 departments and the capital district of Bogotá, the country's largest city. It covers an area of 1,141,748 square kilometers, with a population of 50 million. Colombia's cultural heritage reflects influences by various Amerindian civilizations, European settlement, African slaves, as well as immigration from Europe and the Middle East. Spanish is the nation's official language, besides which over 70 languages are spoken. Cultural tourism forms the largest sector of the tourism industry in Peru. Pre-Columbian civilizations, most notably the Inca Empire, Chavín, Mach, and Nazca, left a large archaeological and cultural impact on the nation. The ruins of Machu Picchu are the most internationally recognized of all the ruins of Peru, and therefore receive the most tourists. The other popular ruins are those of Chan Chan, Sipan, Culap, Nazca Lines, Ollantaytambo, Carol, Sacsayhuaman, and Silistani. Tourists also visit the Spanish colonial architecture in many cities in Peru. Some of the most outstanding examples of Spanish colonial architecture are in the cities of Lima, Arequipa, and Cusco. These areas, many built over 500 years ago, demonstrate the superb architectural ingenuity of the colonists during the Viceroyalty of Peru. The city of Lima has many acclaimed museums holding works of art reflecting the diverse history of the country. These museums include the National Museum, National Museum of Anthropology, Archaeology and History, Rafael Larco Herrera Archaeological Museum, National Museum of Peruvian Culture, and Museum of Italian Art, among many others. There are also many museums outside Lima, including the Regional Museum of the National University of San Martin in Tarapoto, San Martin. Chile. Tourism in Chile has experienced sustained growth over the last few decades. In 2005, tourism grew by 13.6%, generating more than $4.5 billion, of which $1.5 billion was attributed to foreign tourists. According to the National Service of Tourism, 2 million people a year visit the country. Most of these visitors come from other countries in the American continent, mainly Argentina, followed by a growing number from the United States, Europe, and Brazil, with a growing number of Asians from South Korea and China. The main attractions for tourists are places of natural beauty situated in the extreme zones of the country. San Pedro de Atacama, in the north, is very popular with foreign tourists who arrive to admire the Incaic architecture, the Altiplano Lakes, and the Valley of the Moon. In Puter, also in the north, there is the Chungara Lake, as well as the Parinacota and the Pomerape volcanoes, with altitudes of 348 meters and 282 meters, respectively. Throughout the Central Andes there are many ski resorts of international repute, including Portillo, Val Nevado and Termas de Chillán. Ecuador. The Ministry of Information and Tourism was created on the 10th of August 1992. At the beginning of the government of Sixto Durán Ballén, who viewed tourism as a fundamental activity for the economic and social development of the peoples. Faced with the growth of the tourism sector, in June 1994, the decision was taken to separate tourism from information, so that it is exclusively dedicated to promoting and strengthening this activity. Ecuador is a country with vast natural wealth. The diversity of its 4 regions has given rise to thousands of species of flora and fauna. It has approximately 1,640 kinds of birds. The species of butterflies border 4,500, the reptiles 345, the amphibians 358, and the mammals 258, among others. Not in vain, Ecuador is considered one of the 17 countries where the planet's highest biodiversity is concentrated, being also the largest country with diversity per km2 in the world. Most of its fauna and flora lives in 26 protected areas by the state. Uruguay. Cultural experiences in Uruguay include exploring the country's colonial heritage, as found in Colonia del Sacramento. Montevideo, the country's capital, houses the most diverse selection of cultural activities. Historical monuments such as Torres Garcia Museum as well as Estadio Centenario, which housed the first World Cup in history, are examples. However, simply walking the streets allows tourists to experience the city's colorful culture. One of the main natural attractions in Uruguay is Punta del Este. Punta del Este is situated on a small peninsula off the southeast coast of Uruguay. Its beaches are divided into Mansa, or tame side, and Brava, or rugged side. The Mansa is more suited for sunbathing, snorkeling, and other low-key recreational opportunities, while the Brava is more suited for adventurous sports, such as surfing. Punta del Este joins the city of Maldonado, while to its northeast along the coast are found the smaller resorts of La Barra and José Ignacio. Aruba has a large and well-developed tourism industry, receiving 1,082,000 tourists, who stayed overnight in its territory in 2018. About 3/4 of the Aruban gross national product is earned through tourism and related activities. Most tourists are from North America, with a market share of 73.3%, followed by Latin America with 15.2%, and Europe with 8.3%. In 2018, there were 40,231 visitors from the Netherlands. For private aircraft passengers bound for the United States, the United States Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has a full pre-clearance facility since the 1st of February 2001 when Queen Beatrix Airport expanded. Since 2008, Aruba has been the only island to have this service for private flights. Venezuela. Tourism has been developed considerably in recent decades, particularly because of its favorable geographical position, the variety of landscapes, the richness of plant and wildlife, the artistic expressions, and the privileged tropical climate of the country, which affords each region throughout the year. Margarita Island is one of the top tourist destinations for enjoyment and relaxation. It is an island with a modern infrastructure, bordered by beautiful beaches suitable for extreme sports, and features castles, fortresses, and churches of great cultural value. Los Roques Archipelago is made up of a set of islands and keys that constitute one of the main tourist attractions in the country. With exotic crystalline beaches, Morocoy is a national park, formed by small keys very close to the mainland, which have grown rapidly as one of the greatest tourist attractions in the Venezuelan Caribbean. Curacao. While tourism plays a major role in Curacao's economy, the island is less reliant on tourism than many other Caribbean countries. Most tourists come to Curacao from the Netherlands, the eastern United States, South America, and other Caribbean islands. Curacao was a Caribbean leader in cruise ship tourism growth, with 610,186 cruise passengers in 2013, a 41.4% increase over the previous year. Hato International Airport received 1,772,501 passengers in 2013, and announced capital investments totaling US $48 million aimed at transforming the airport into a regional hub by 2018. The Curacao Insular Shelf sharp drop-off known as the Blue Edge is often visited by scuba diving tourists. Coral reefs for snorkeling and scuba diving can be reached without a boat. The southern coast has calm waters as well as many small beaches, such as Jan Thiel and Casabu. At the westernmost point of the island is Guatemala and the Cliff Villa Peninsula, which are good locations for drift diving. The coastline of Curacao features numerous bays and inlets which serve as popular mooring locations for boats.